the WNBA's 2026 All-Star Game. We are joined by Kelsey Mitchell, 28 points, led her team. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you guys for having me.
So what was the most fun part out there?
Probably going against Olivia. We haven't played against Minnesota before yet. But her interaction, her competitive nature, I'm like, I think I like her. When you respect, PGs or guards for guards, I'm like, yeah, she got a good aura, she got good energy, she's competitive. And I thought that was the best part.
Were you like taking notes for when y'all do play her, or?
At halftime, I was like, how you feel? She's like, this is different than what I thought. I was like, in what way? She's like, it's kind of easier. And I was like, okay, well,
The defense is a little bit more optional, but I imagine that finding flow can be a little bit harder when you're playing with your teammates, but also against. I mean, what's that competitive fire like? Because you guys all had 3 All-Stars.
I think that the reality is that we all competitors, and you gotta do what you gotta do. But we talked about it before. She was like, Cece, like, don't score on me. They're like, well, don't shoot on me. So it was like, you know how I go. Y'all know how it is. But I think that at the end of the day, you gotta be competitive. You gotta be you.
Yeah, when we speak of competitive fire, I think people sometimes sleep on you because you keep that straight face no matter what is happening. Kelsey, you have been one of the most consistent scorers the W has ever seen. You've had back-to-back career years. What keeps you going?
Oh, man. I'll be honest with y'all. A little pain, a little grief. My dad, that was tough for me. And if you know me, you know my story. My dad was everything. And when you lose people, and you lose people that kind of control your life in so many great ways, like, dang, I'm going to get through. And then I just start leaning on basketball more and more and God more and more. And I just think that my faith been carrying me, ain't gonna lie.
There's so much strength in your vulnerability in that way. And, part of loving is losing. But what would you encourage another young woman who might be in a similar situation?
You can't never give up. It sounds cliche, you already know this. We all have our own journeys up until this point. But the minute you give up on God too. And I can't do that. I gotta keep going. If I don't, I'll be my mom a disgrace, my family a disgrace. And the reality is that I love the game. I gotta give what I gotta give to it. And if I don't, then I'm not doing my best.
Well, there's also something too. Your life becomes a living testament to the person that you lost, right? And so the way that you're living and the way that you're playing, we are getting to see that testament in action.
Girl pops up there talking trash. That's my baby. That's my baby.
Exactly. So when we're looking towards the second half of the season and what you all are working to do and continue to build on, what exactly is that?
Man, Cece said it. This is like the longest tenure me, Cece, and AB been playing since 2024.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really recognize the chemistry that can be built when you do that. But I think down the second half, we got a little experience, but now when you play against the veteran teams like Minnesota, and you get to, hopefully that we reach to a point where now, that we don't have to talk about chemistry no more. You don't have to talk about, we at that point now where you gotta tap in, you gotta turn it up a little bit more.
People talk about chemistry, but they also talk about consistency. And that's one thing you always are. You've been so consistent this season. The 20-point games, over 50% from the field. How are you able to be so consistent with your performances?
Reps. It's never not a time where if I get a chance, I was out here earlier, they said it was a quarter.
You were locked in. We were trying to find you.
But yeah, I mean, it's so crazy. Like I never thought I would be here, and so to be at this table with y'all, it's so empowering. I think that the work got me here. There wasn't no shortcuts for me. I didn't really have a fan base that's huge as other players, and so for me, it's just about the work, and it's the only thing I can rely on.
And you're not just here, you're here to stay, because correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you're the longest tenured member of the Indiana Fever.
You don't see it all.
So you don't see it all, but now the fan base is amazing and it's everywhere. Can you talk about the transformation you have experienced through this organization?
Y'all, it's been crazy. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, it's been crazy. And having a teammate like Cece kind of like pushed the narrative a little bit more. The reality is that young lady brought so many people and so many eyes. But I think the transformation for us in the Indiana Fever was that we brought culture back. We brought a sense of like purpose in the game. And Catch did a really good job of making sure that she instilled the leadership role into me. Like I said, when I first started this, Catch was around a lot more, and so she was my mentor. And so everything that y'all get to see now, that was Catch. Catch was in my ear every single day. We did mentorships every week. And now when I look back on it, I'm glad I did.
It's paying off, baby.
You're the mentor that so many of your young teammates teammates are now looking toward and looking to. We know you have a very, very limited all-star break. We've been calling this a little bit of an all-star work, so we're going to let you get to it. We're going to take a quick break here. Kelsey, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all.
Coming up here on our post-game show, speaking of talking trash, Teaspoon is going to be joining us next, and you know that she's going to talk her talk after what we just saw. We'll be right back.
I appreciate it.
We're in a CBA.